Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is VisitJoan, and it's a cycle we're all familiar with by now. A new pack gets announced, we all go nuts, or critical in the case of this last one. The live stream happens, we get even more excited about it. The game changers get access to the pack, making us all go crazy because they have something we want, and then it finally hits release day. In the Eastern Hemisphere, and those of us in the United States and other places in the West are just bashing our head against the keyboards trying to spend the next 24 hours off Twitter until midnight. Or in my case, 11 p.m. Then we finally get the pack, and we spend the next who knows how long glued to our screens until we get bored and the whole thing starts over again. Expansion packs have been around since base games have been around. It's kind of a way for companies to make money and milk everything they can out of a pack that some people say. I don't know, but it's just something that they do. The question now is, which expansion packs are the best? I've already made videos going over the best Sims 4 packs for gameplay, create a sim, and build and buy, but which expansion packs of the entire Sims franchise are the best out of all of them? Yes, I know that's a little redundant, but I'm winging it here, so deal with me. That's why I compiled a list of what I think are the top 5 expansion packs of all time. Now, a couple disclaimers before we get started. Number 1 is that this is based off of my opinions. So, there's a chance that you're not going to agree exactly with this list, and that's okay. If you have a problem with that, you probably should get away from this video right about now. Second is that I did a little tweaking to this list to make it a little bit more fair. For starters, I wanted to make sure that every numbered entry in the game was represented. Second is that I didn't put 2 packs with the same theme on the list because, well, there are only 5 slots and several packs deserve them. So it's safe to say if you want a true list, this probably isn't the video for you. Again, there is like a little exit button, or you can just swipe depending on what device you're on. But if you're still here, I'm assuming you want to continue, so without further ado, let's go over the 5 best Sims expansion packs of all time. Coming in at number 5, we have the Sims 4 City Living. City Living is a pack that, well, as you would imagine, has Sims explore various aspects of living in the city. You get to live in apartments and all the perks and really annoyances that come with it, like noisy neighbors. And yes, the Sims 2 apartment life lets you build your own apartment complexes, but this game got the edge simply because there was more gameplay with it than came in previous games with apartments. You could have serviced apartments. Some apartments would need TLC, and therefore things would, rats would run all over the place, and things would just go haywire, and you'd have to fix it yourself, which is really nice if you have a really handy sim that lives there. But the one thing that sets City Living apart from its predecessors are the festivals. Now, the festivals are really great because they are places where your Sims can go and give them something to do, because let's face it, base game bars and lounges just didn't cut it. Some festivals felt like they needed a little bit more work, like the Humor and Hijinks Festival or the Romance Festival. Now, these festivals were cool and they're alright, but again, what do you do at the Romance Festival? Go drink the tea and flirt with everyone? But there were others, such as the Spice Festival, that had lots of options. Now, my personal favorite festival is GeekCon, because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of stuff I like to do at that festival. Video games, motion gaming rigs, there's even building rocket ships and stargazing and hackathons, and you can walk around and see a bunch of Sims in cosplay. It's probably the best con because it has the most things to do. And there's a reason for you to actually go there other than hanging out with your friends. Because let's face it, who has a giant rocket ship in their backyard? Well, maybe an alien, but I don't put those in alien backyards, so there you go. So you can go to GeekCon and play on the motion gaming rigs. You can go and spy on your neighbors' houses. You can go and build a rocket ship and explore space. You can also compete in things like the Ultimate Gaming Test or the Hackathon, or just enjoy a console game with your friends. It's things like this that pushed City Living over the edge and earned it the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, we have the Sims 2 Free Time. Now, this was a pack that gave your Sims hobbies. And yes, I know, you could have your Sims have hobbies anyway with your own lore and the items that are in this house. But this pack just pushed it up to another level by giving your Sims different enthusiasms and hobbies. The more enthusiasm your Sims have in a particular hobby, the more they get to do with it. You can unlock special interactions such as searching for planets and constellations, or you can even do such things as collecting butterflies and bugs. Once you reach max enthusiasm in a hobby, you are able to get in the zone, which basically slows all your needs down, which actually is really accurate because I'm usually in the zone whenever I'm doing something Sims related. Either that or it's the fact that I have ADHD and it's actually hyperfocus. Probably the latter. But free time was also amazing because it added a lot more things for your Sims to do. In addition to the arts and crafts we already had, we were able to get a pottery wheel, which added more craftable stuff to make. We also got a sewing machine where you could make your own customizable outfits. But although between you and me, those really weren't all that good. We got more musical instruments, including a synthesizer. We got a basketball hoop, soccer goals, more exercise machines. You're starting to notice a theme with these packs, right? The more it gives Sims to do, the better off they are. And free time was no exception, which earns it the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3, we have the Sims 3 Generations. Now, this was a pack which tagline was, "Live life to the fullest." And that's exactly what the pack was. Every stage of your Sims life got something new added to it, from children all the way to elders. Children could play with their imagination. They could have imaginary friends. They could have fun just around the items in their own house. They could go for a joyride in a car, or on a submarine adventure in their bathtub, or they could preside over the royal court in their kitchen. Teenagers, on the other hand, got access to a lot more pranks. They were able to go to prom and wake up with a really bad mood swing in which they were wanting to be more rebellious for the time being. When your Sims got engaged, you could throw a bachelor or bachelorette party, which would come complete with exotic dancers and spilling the bride with champagne. And once your Sim becomes a full-fledged adult, they undergo a midlife crisis where they want to do things such as get a new fancy expensive car, or cut or dye their hair, or just completely ditch their family and get a new partner. Hey, I didn't say all the options were good, did I? But again, sticking with the theme, one of the best things about Generations was the fact that there was a lot of new stuff added to the game. Seesaws, hopscotch, tree houses that your Sims could actually woohoo in, but we're not talking about that right now. And of course, the slip and slide. Yes, I am using the brand name for it. Sue me. This pack is so amazing. It's probably one of my most wanted for The Sims 4, and even though we're probably not going to get it in all one pack, I'll take anything I can get. It's actually tied for my favorite Sims 3 expansion pack, but for the purposes of this list, I had to dock it down a few points just because of the imaginary friends. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with them in particular, but the annoying thing about them was every child got one whether you wanted them to or not. And that was a feature that, after playing with it once, I really had no desire to do it again. Plus, I just really didn't want my teens to have imaginary friends.
Didn't you technically?
I'm a writer, that's an excuse. Coming in at number 2, we have The Sims Vacation, or On Holiday for those of you that aren't in the US. This was a pack where your Sims could actually leave their home and spend a few days at some other locale. There were 3 different areas of Vacation Island. There was a beach, a snowy mountain where your Sims could do things such as snowboard and stuff, and I think it was kind of like a logging area. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Let me check that out. Nope, I can't find it. Just Mortimer and Bella dancing. Probably the best thing about going on vacation in this expansion pack, though, was the fact that there were things to do that you couldn't do anywhere else. There was a reason to go on vacation. On the beach area, there was actually a boardwalk where you could play games such as Whack-A-Will, because we actually find it amusing to whack the head of the guy who created the greatest game of all time. There was a snow slide, a half pipe in the snow area, and there was camping in the tent area? And the reason I picked this pack over The Sims 2 Bon Voyage, because let's face it, Bon Voyage was a significant improvement, was because, as some of you guys already know, I started playing The Sims 16 years ago. And if you do the math, it's only a few months before The Sims 2 was released. So I was able to buy each pack, but I wanted something new to play with. I fondly remember spending the most time with Vacation, and I even took my goth family on vacation, which was a big deal because at that time I never played with them because, well, this was before Bella's disappearance, and that's what really made her one of my favorite Sims. But all the time I spent with The Sims Vacation before I got bored with it elevated it up to the number 2 spot on this list. Now, before we get to the #1 entry on this list, I thought it would be a good idea to bring up some honorable mentions. These are the packs that maybe would make the list if I didn't have all the restrictions in, but I decided to leave them out just to make the list a little bit more fair. Sims 2 Bon Voyage, for its amazing improvements off of The Sims 2 Vacation. The Sims 4 Island Living, because although the gameplay wasn't all that great, the build and buy items were fantastic. And coming in at #1, we have The Sims 3 Island Paradise. Now this was the last expansion pack to give me true peeps, pre-expansion pack syndrome. And that was pretty much for one reason and one reason only. 2 words: house boats. Yes, that's right. In Island Paradise, you could actually build functioning houseboats for your Sims. It was something new and exciting, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on the pack when it came out. You could also explore the world of Isla Paradiso and do lots of water activities such as snorkeling, scuba diving, windsurfing, jet skiing, and paddle boating. You could also become a lifeguard and run a resort. Just the sheer excitement I had when the pack came out and the amount of gameplay time I got out of it were enough to make this tied for the best expansion pack of The Sims 3 and to the top of this list of the 5 best expansion packs of all time. Wow, I'm really sad I don't have all that more to say about this, but I'd better wrap this video up. So, do you agree with this list? Are there packs that you love that didn't make it? Is there a pack you'd swap out with another one of the same theme? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, as long as you respect everybody else's opinions. And that's going to be it for this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. As always, you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at VisitJoan, and on Twitter at VisitJoanVideos. But anyway, I'm going to get up out of here. Bye everybody, I will be seeing you in the next video.